Good morning. This time, it's time to skip the BS about my Dallas Cowboys, who yesterday at Buffalo played like BS without the B. Allow me to kick this show off by saying I was so wrong about my Cowboys. They are not what I thought they were. They are not contenders. At Buffalo, they played one of the most shameful, big, late-season games in Cowboy history. A gutless, heartless effort. They got exposed. They're frauds. They're home product phonies. Neither Mike McCarthy nor Dan Quinn had this team ready to play football yesterday, and they got embarrassed. Michael Irvin, I need some help here. Are you as down and out on this team as I am?
Skip, I was down, but I feel a little bit better because I felt you're down in that whole in that whole intro right there. So I feel a little bit better about my down because it wasn't as down.
Good.
Now I call that we got caught in a monsoon yesterday. Now get this early on. I know it wasn't raining early on, Skip, and Key, but I was disappointed, honestly, that the Cowboys were not ready for that. What they got when they got there. It's like you said, are you guys missing what's happening here? Are you missing it? I tried to talk about it, and Key tried to brush it off. I said, listen, they're going to have the powers of all the ghosts of yesteryear. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to meet you at this stadium.
You said that. Yep.
And they met them at that stadium. Yep. And I'm expecting the Cowboys of this year, who has all the things right now going for them, talking about MVP. You just mentioned Defensive Player of the Year, undefeated at home, putting up 40 points, number one offense, all of these things. You take all of that into Buffalo and you put up that kind of performance. I was shocked at that kind of performance. Embarrassed, to be honest with you, sitting there with Key having to deal with this. And he's in my ear. Every time something happens, he's getting up, doing all that and dancing. And it was crazy. I had to deal with this, man. I had to deal with it. And let me tell you what bothered me. And later on, I knew, guys, honestly, I knew. And I've said it here before. I said if I was Philly, I would come out, I'm going to run the ball right down Dallas' throat. The first 30
You did say that.
I'll just keep running. I'll keep running. I keep saying it. Right. I said right here that the goal score is going to be 38-35. So the 31 Buffalo got didn't shock Mike. I knew that Buffalo was going to put up some points. No, everybody else thought it was going to be a low-scoring defensive game. I was like, no. This is going to be a 38-35 game. Buffalo put up 31. Dallas didn't put up anything. That's where the rubber meets the road right there. You have a number one offense that gave you nothing. That was my disappointment right there. And you, on offense, you beat scheme versus scheme. You couldn't scheme someone open. Or you have man beat man, and certainly our men couldn't beat their men. We had no answer for what they were doing. And that was the disappointing thing, especially since Dak was riding into this game as one of the leading candidates for the MVP.
No doubt.
And it just came and fell flat.
Okay, so you're saying they weren't ready for the monsoon of emotion they got hit with from the other side.
Early on. Yeah. And then the monsoon of rain that came in the second half. Yeah. So it was a monsoon kind of day. Then I had to deal with the monsoon of people calling me after Key posted me leaving the place and all of that. So that's why my thought was monsoonish.
Did you gather enough information, Michael?
I gathered information. We saw information. I gathered, but it's information I knew. I knew that we had issues also stopping the run. I've been saying
you had issues stopping the run.
I don't know that they knew that.
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys didn't know they had issues, even though Arizona put 222 yards on you earlier in the year. In Philadelphia, when they wanted to run the football the first time y'all played them, they were able to get yardage on the ground. And then let's not talk about San Francisco and what they were able to do to this vantage defense. But here's what I'm going to say, because you didn't give me anything about why y'all lost. As you like to say, I want to crack your cranium now and fertilize your brain as to why the Dallas Cowboys in a so-called monsoon in the second half when it was 21-3 at halftime as you sat there eating the chicken wings and trying to figure out how to get back in it the second half with me. Your defense let you down more so than the offense. Is because when they took that will away from you, you know, when they took that away from you, and there you go, looking puzzled, that's okay. 21-3, that's a halftime. We got more. And so when that defense didn't stop them and James Cook, 175 pounds, soaking wet on a rainy day, all 5'10" of him, whatever it is, Skip, he dominated you.
He did.
180 yards on the ground. You could not stop him.
No.
Okay? They barely threw the football because they knew, as I've been trying to tell you all year long, the middle of your defense, your linebacking core, that group is supposed to shed the blocks and defend the run.
They attacked.
They did not do that. They decided that little number 14, 210 pounds, as a safety in the box, that they was just going to, Joe Brady and company was going to run at him and run away from Micah Parsons and leave him untouched. Okay, not blocking him at all. You do that to Lawrence Taylor, he going to chase you down from the backside.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
There's a big difference there.
That is true.
Okay?
That's the truest thing you've ever said on this show.
Or what about a coach sending Micah Parsons in a direction? Jimmy Johnson says, okay, they want to put you in conflict. Every time you go bust the quarterback in his mouth,
get him.
or you go hit the running back in his mouth.
Don't
we'll take care of everybody else. So now it takes the conflict away. Your job is hit the quarterback, we'll tackle the runner. Just leave it at that.
Okay.
So that's coaching also.
They didn't make any second half adjustments. And as you tried to tell me, you're not a dome team. Oh, you are a dome team going on the road. But I guess they were not ready for whatever little sprinkles, as you tried to tell me yesterday, Michael, it was sprinkling in the beginning of the game, pregame. So mentally, they lost their focus because they were afraid of a little rain. You getting ready to use that as an excuse? How about just the fact that you couldn't stop them? Then on the offensive side, as I tried to tell you, Skip, but you wouldn't listen. That 40 points at home, we score, we this. You're averaging 24 on the road. That average is now dipped down to 19.
That's with 40 at New York to open the season.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
40 to nothing at New York.
Yeah, 40 to nothing against a team that is not very good. And then, as I told you before, you won't listen. You went on the road, you lost to Arizona. You went on the road, you lost to Philadelphia. You went on the road, and you see what happened in San Francisco. You went on the road again. And lost to Buffalo, Michael, and you try to tell me just because you got a bad road record doesn't mean you're a bad road team. What? This is what you literally on Friday tried to condition my brain to believe that nonsense. Now you look up, and now you're on your way to Miami. You're on your way to Miami. And Tyreek Hill most likely will be back. Yeah, we saw what they did to the Jets.
By the way, last week you flipped and you said we will win it.
Guess what? And I am flipping back now. You're not going to win in Miami.
Joker, right?
Yeah. You're not going to win in Miami.
There we go.
No, because you know why? What you showed me up in Buffalo, you don't deserve. You don't deserve, Skip, the benefit of the doubt anymore for me to give you an opportunity to get back in it. It was at your fingertips. It was at your fingertips. You just allowed it to go away. You're not going to win the division. You'll be the 5th seed on the road. On the road. Looking probably for a new head coach at the end of the year.
I don't go too far.
You're not going to the NFC Championship game.
You got a game.
Oh, so now you're going to the NFC Championship game? Is that what you're going to tell me, Michael?
Can we finish with this game?
No, I'm just telling you. Because
can we finish here before you fire the coach, get rid of the quarterback, and bring
I ain't getting rid of the quarterback. The quarterback is fine with me. I just know what y'all been screaming all year long. Here we go, Skip. Here we go.
No, there we went.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to respond again, or you want
No, you go ahead, Skip. This is because I know where he's going.
To your point, Keyshawn, the reason this just ripped my soul out, we had it in the palms of our hands.
Right here.
We had the division, and potentially we had the 1 seed right in the palm of our hands, but we just got to keep doing what we've been doing. And we got to be ready to match the onslaught that we got hit in the nose and the mouth with out of the box at Buffalo. It requires senior leadership, veteran leadership, like the man to my right always provided for the dynastic 90s Cowboys. This would have been the game that Michael Irvin is screaming in the pregame locker room. Now, it starts now. This is it. They weren't ready to play. And the two veteran leaders in the locker room, there are two of them, Michael Irvin. There's DeMarcus Lawrence and there's Zach Martin, and I'll throw Tyron Smith in there as guys who have been around, play at an extremely high level. Two of those three are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. I don't know, DeMarcus Lawrence might wind up in the Hall of Fame someday. He's played at a high level for a long time. So what happens right away? On the first 3rd and 4, Buffalo takes the ball all the way down to 3rd and 4 at the 6-yard line. And what does DeMarcus Lawrence do? Here's what he did. If we could please see this. It's just stupid. It's just, it's so unlike him because the pass is, it's incomplete. We just held him to 3. And he just shoves it, Josh Allen down. It's just silly.
Josh is pointing like he hit him in his face,
yeah,
which he did not.
But it's just unnecessary. And DeMarcus Lawrence knows better than that. Yes. And it cost us 4 points. They're big points early because it cost you the momentum. It gave Buffalo the magic of it. Like, we got them. All of a sudden, Buffalo's on fire because they scored an opening drive touchdown instead of we held them to just 3. Okay, and now on the next possession, it's 2nd and 6 at our 29, and Dak Prescott has Brandon Cooks wide open deep. If we could see this, please. You have to make this throw if you're going to win MVP because this is on the road at Buffalo. You've got him. You've got him. And you just overthrew him. And I'd much rather it be overthrown than underthrown. But still, it's just a play that you have to make. It's just one of those road plays, Michael, that you and Troy, you go to Washington, you go to New York, you go to Philadelphia. That's the play you have to make to set the early tone.
I'd rather him underthrow this because
would you? Okay, all right, then maybe you get interference. Okay, yeah. Okay, I understand.
Let me get a play at the ball, something.
Yeah, except a lot of times he underthrows not on purpose. Right. You know, like if you do it on purpose, you got me, but not that. And now we get to 3rd and 6 at the 29 in the next possession. And Dak takes off and runs, and he gets blasted late. If we could see this, he slides, and he gets hit late, and the flags fly. And here comes flying into the play Zach Martin. Zach Martin is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, so you're going to get the flag. It's obvious. Flags are flying everywhere. And here comes Zach Martin in like he's got to have Dak's back. Well, the refs already had his back for you. There's no reason to come in and knock down the kid who did it. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer, and on the road at Buffalo, you can't do that.
I know 2 plays in this skip. That's not championship worthy.
It's not. I agree.
You're not.
Bingo.
When you have DeMarcus Lawrence doing what he did, and now Zach Martin doing what he's doing
veteran
in a missed throw, that's not championship worthy.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, now let's get to the punt issue. This is Sam Williams, who has blocked punts before. He has athletic explosiveness, and he explodes in, and he has got the punter dead to rights, and he leaves his feet for reasons I don't know because the punt goes beneath him. All you have to do is play the football off the foot. And if you touch football, you can blast the punter all you want. You have to touch the football first. And he lets him kick the ball beneath him. It's incomprehensible. It's bad football. It's dumb football. It's not championship football. It's another play that if you make it, you got him dead to rights. If you finish that play, hey, if the ball's bouncing backwards, maybe it bounces to the end zone and you fall on it. And all of a sudden you have a whole different story going on. Let me just throw 2 more at you. So now in the 3rd quarter, we're driving the football, and maybe if we cut it to 21-10, maybe you'd start saying, okay, maybe we got a shot here. And it gets to 3rd and 1 at the 29. And if I could show you what Dak did here, this is 3rd and 1 at the 29, and he drops back from under center, and he's deer in headlights, and he goes down. So on 3rd and 1, that's 3rd and 1. You took a 10-yard sack, and it's over, man. That's it. That was the end of the game for me, was that right there. 3rd and 1, and here comes a blitzer, right? And your deer and blitz headlights, right? And finally, if we could see Dak's overthrow interception that completely ended it with 10:47 left in the fourth quarter, I just got to show this. This is bad Dak. This is everything that I have never loved about Dak. Okay, it's just I don't even know what it was. I don't even know. Was the ball getting wet? Was it getting, because that was a monsoon.
So now the ball is wet. Okay. So this is right about the time.
No. Right here, Dak read. You can see on the shallow out, Dak thought that the cornerback was going to come up and he get CeeDee Lamb behind him. Top. And then he got caught in between, not knowing if he's throwing in front or in back. And the ball just kind of got away.
It's fourth down. It didn't matter anyway.
All right. Now back to the defense. To your point about Micah Parsons, he's an extraordinary rusher of the passer, but if you scheme just to run at him and run at him and run at him all night, you make the best point. There's a time when Lawrence Taylor is still going to wreck the game. He's going to say, oh, you want to run at me? And he's going to shed blocks. He's going to out-quick blocks. In Lawrence's case, he's going to out-physical blocks. Micah is not physical at all. When he sees run come to his side, he just sort of gives up and starts fading back in and gets pushed off the ball and is no factor. He had no solo tackles. They ran at him all night long. He had 0 solos. He had 2 assisted tackles. I think we have them. They're just 2 assisted on down the field.
They made a decision not to block him multiple times.
And multiple times. Because they're just saying, okay, tackle somebody. Show us you can tackle somebody with the ball. Okay, this is the first Micah. He just sort of chases the ball down. You can see him trying to hold on, and he's not even physical enough to hold, stop the runner from just going for 5 more yards. I think here's the second one.
But everything that went on their defense is not Micah Parsons. It's
another chase.
Combination of a multitude of things.
But this right here.
I'm just saying, this is the guy who was the odds-on defensive player of the year going into this game. He was
I understand, but they've had a great plan put together, though, Skip, where they were going to, at times, run away from him and run at 14, which is a smaller guy in the box.
Marquise Bell.
And what Micah needed to do was play chase. He didn't play chase fast enough in this game.
You need to stop thinking and play ball.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving him a direction. And this is coming off of, this is coaching. This is coaching. This is scheme. This is, I'm telling you, you're either playing scheme beating scheme or man beating man. This is scheme beating scheme. They got to put Michael Parsons in better areas so he can be successful.
That is correct.
That's on Dan Quinn, not just Michael Parsons.
All right. And to your point, Keyshawn, about soft up the middle, we have one run stuffer on that defense. His name is Jonathan Hankins that they picked up from the Raiders going back a year ago. And he was out with a high ankle sprain. And they have to call upon their first-round draft pick this year, Mozzie Smith out of Michigan, to be that dude. And he did a few good things. He had 1 solo and 1 assist, and he did have the only sack in the game. I'll give him that. But in general, Mozzie Smith has been a disappointment this year so far. He's just a baby, and I get that, but you're asking him a lot. Yesterday, he got called upon, and he wasn't ready for that because the Buffalo offensive line blew us off the football, including our quote-unquote middle linebacker. We have 2 of them. Marquise Bell, you're right. He's a former safety. He can fly around the football field. But if you let him get engaged by an offensive lineman, he's got no chance. So you have to scheme it.
100 pounds.
That is correct. Or maybe more. Maybe more.
But this is why I tried to tell y'all so hard-headed you don't want to listen. I tried to tell you, Shaq Leonard is in the building. But, he ain't going to help us. He ain't doing nothing for Philly. Okay. You kept saying when guys became available on the defensive side of the ball, you don't care. You didn't need them because you had the #1 top defense going. But yet and still, we watched 266 yards be run down your throat.
That is correct.
In Buffalo yesterday.
But weirdly, at home, nobody runs it down our throat. Why is that?
But here,
are we more confident?
No, because
here's
the offense is putting up 40 points, and they are chasing. Back to the original that I gave on the footprint in the blueprint.
Good point.
You need to make sure. Mike McCarthy talked about this at the beginning. He said complimentary football. They had the ball 35 minutes, 35 to 25, and they ran the ball. This dude completed 7 passes.
7 passes.
Josh Allen completed 7 passes.
Out of 15.
And that's all he
needed. That's
all he needed to win this football game. So we're saying, you got to stop this run Or if you can't stop the run, and I know you can't stop the run. I watched this team a couple years ago when they were giving up 200-300 yards to everybody. I called them then the Oprah Winfrey defense. I mean, they were, you get 300 yards, you get 300 yards, you get 300. I was like, what is going on? So I knew they had that in them. I need that offense to put up the 40 that you put up at home on the road to make sure that Josh Allen throws the ball more than 7 times. Anybody throwing the ball only 7 times going to win a game.
But I told you on Friday, y'all not putting up 40. You barely scoring 24. So I don't understand all of a sudden you thinking at home.
Let me say this too, though.
First of all, the opponents that you hanging the 40 on, let's be honest with each other. You beat Seattle. They still hung 35 on your defense. You beat an arch rival.
But the offense put up something right. Go ahead,
you beat an arch rival in Philadelphia. Yeah, that was y'all Super Bowl, man. Y'all put a lot into that.
Yeah, that was an emotional.
And forgot about these other 2 teams y'all
that I play. That I play because I say this all the time. It's hard to rebound for another game 7 days later. So that I say.
What was our offense up against yesterday? The Buffalo Bills did not have Micah Hyde.
No.
They did not have A.J. Epinesa, who's one of their best passers.
But they lost up front, Skip.
Okay. They did not have much of Von Miller, who played 24 snaps and did nothing yesterday. They're without Matt Milano. They're without Tre'Davious White. They're not what they were at the first of the year. And that happened to Dak and company?
But scheme, just because you don't have the bodies and the names on the back of the jersey, sometimes a scheme negates all of that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I started this with scheme. And let me, those runs, nobody were touching. Nobody was touching them.
Yeah.
James Cooks was, and if you think they were running wide open, if you think Dallas got lost in eye candy with Buffalo, wait till Miami come in here with the eye candy. And Dallas has this problem, Skip, Key. You're watching all of this. You get out of position. These runs, nobody's touching them for 10, 11 yards down the field. You see what I mean? That's a concern. That's not just talent. That's scheme. You got to put something better together to help better together to help you.
You had a lot of talent yesterday trying to leave out early, though, Michael. 31-3. You tried to sneak out the door.
Man, listen, man. It was
Skip, you tried to sneak out on me. I mean,
I appreciate
supposed to be a Cowboy, man. Look at Michael.
Here, man.
Look at him.
They're joking right.
I caught him trying to sneak out.
I get back to my hotel room, and I'm why am my phone blowing up? What's going on? He got me going viral talking about it. I didn't even know he took this picture. I don't even know when he took that picture. I'm like, boy, you know what?
As you tried to sneak out.
So in a few minutes, we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield and the Bucs maybe winning the South over Keyshawn's New Orleans. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys' only hope is to be able to go play Baker at Baker like we played Brady at Brady last year. Maybe we could win that game in the first round and then get embarrassed.
So you don't even want to go to the Saints, huh? You scared of them, too?
I'm scared of the Saints at home.
Okay.
You saw what they did to the Giants yesterday. All right, in a moment, we got to talk about last night's game. I'm going to make a case of why Lamar can beat the 49ers, that's a week from tonight, and win MVP. Here we go.
No mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.